Venezuela is not for opportunists. Today we discuss why.
Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
Today we answer the question why Venezuela is not for opportunistic people. I said this many times. Venezuela is for people that can see beyond the narratives, can see the future. They are keen on history and all of the cycles that happens not only in Venezuela, but throughout humankind. And right now, of course, Venezuela is the narrative. One thing is the narrative. Remember, this is the first thing. The narrative has a few years lagging compared to the actual circumstances of the country. That Venezuela, a lot of bad things happen here in the country. Yes, those happen indeed. The worst of the situation was on 2017. We already discussed that. But the narrative from many Western media and even social media is that we are still on the situation on 2017, and that is not the case. For instance, one of the examples that we can get is regarding crypto. Yes, always the crypto guys. I mean, nothing against crypto, by the way. I like crypto, actually. But here's the issue. Many people, these crypto maximalists, they want to use Venezuela as a cautionary tale. And that's not how it works. They're using, and I'm seeing a bunch of pages regarding that only talk about crypto, using the quote-unquote hyperinflation narrative that in Venezuela you have to take a bunch of bills in order to pay bread or something like that. And that is a very inaccurate description of the situation. We had the situation on 2016, 2017, and 2018, and that's it. Since 2019, the Venezuelan economy has been de facto dollarized. And Venezuela is very friendly regarding working with different both fiat currencies and cryptocurrencies. And since 2021, we don't have a hyperinflation on nominal terms. And since 2021, actually, we have a trend of this inflation on nominal terms that is pretty much useless, especially for you, the international, because the country is de facto dollarized. So when you come to Venezuela, you have to think on US dollar terms. And the other thing is that the narrative right now is that Venezuela is on hyperinflation and that the hyperinflation ended years ago. And of course, these people, the crypto maximalists, they want to use the narrative of Venezuela as a cautionary tale in order to buy crypto and buy Bitcoin because it's the most thing. And by the way, I like Bitcoin. I mean, nothing against Bitcoin. The altcoins, I'm agnostic. Something that happened recently here in the country, and I address this on my newsletter and for my clients, that mining operations in the country have been halted, and right now you cannot mine not only Bitcoin but any kind of cryptocurrency here in the country. And many people are thinking that people abroad, especially the crypto maximalists, that the Venezuelan government is attacking free market. No, it is not. In Venezuela, let me explain, the electricity is dirt cheap, it's almost free. And during a time, it was legal to mine Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, have a mining operation, but you have to be registered on a particular agency, and that agency has been closed, and for reasons that I already discussed. And now there has been a crackdown where every mining operation has been shut down. And the government didn't do it because they are anti-crypto and anti-Bitcoin, anything like that. They didn't do it like that. Actually, the Venezuelan government is very agnostic regarding using crypto and Bitcoin in the exchanges, that kind of thing. They did it because the electricity, if you know anything about crypto, you know that mining cryptocurrencies takes a lot of energy from the energy grid. And that's why the mining operations are very expensive on most of the world. But in Venezuela, it's a bargain. Sadly, the electrical grid on the country is lackluster and you cannot have mining operations, because you are damaging the electrical grid on the country for an activity that doesn't bring value to society. It is what it is. I'm sorry if you are watching this. And I'm talking, you cannot have crypto operations if you don't have industries and anything like that. So the electrical supply has to go to activities that impacts directly to the average population, rather than making money for the few people that own many operations. And I have nothing against miners or anything like that. I wish them the best. I wish them success. But the main point is that it's just in order to preserve the electrical grid, despite the fact that we are no longer having mining operation. Regardless of that, the Venezuelan government doesn't have any crackdown regarding crypto operations and anything like that. If you like Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever may be the case, you can use it. Yes. Now, putting crypto aside, let's talk about the, most tangible things. Many people abroad see Venezuela since, this failed state and this quote-unquote banana republic and that kind of thing. And they think this country is very, very poor and has been impoverished a lot after an 80% GDP collapse. And then we're having a slow trend of economic growth, still a long way to go. We already discussed this. But many people think that you come here to Venezuela and this is just, this banana republic, everyone is poor and that kind of thing. And that scares away a lot of internationals, but also brings a bunch of internationals that they have this very opportunistic mindset regarding that they think they're going to get very cheap, for instance, the real estate. They're going to get very dirt cheap real estate. And actually, you can have good deals on real estate if you know what you're doing. And you see yet again, the lagging information abroad from the top of the bottom of the market, where you can see prices of $10,000, $20,000. And they think that with that amount, you can buy a McMansion or a penthouse or something like that. And that is not going to be the case yet again. Also, many people have seen this a lot, that they are headhunters. They are hunting for human capital here in the country, and they think they're going to get a very dirt cheap price for human capital. Yet again, it's not exactly accurate that you can, of course, you can have a good, great professional cents on the dollar compared to what you can have in places like the US, maybe Western Europe, but the spread is not gonna be as high as you might think. For instance, you can get an IT professional, a programmer, something like that, a developer. You can get it cents on the dollar compared to Silicon Valley, that's for sure. But they are not gonna be their cheap employees as you want to think that it is, and that's not gonna be the case. For instance, you see a bunch of this very cheap labor from places like the Philippines or India or Pakistan. In Venezuela, those are not going to be the prices. They're going to be higher compared to the human capital of those particular nations. Now, I can spend the whole day talking about these particular opportunities on any other industry, healthcare, manufacturing, that kind of thing. Well, you're going to be, if you are an opportunist, you are not going to be impressed what you might get from the country. The other thing that I have to remind you yet again, if you're watching this, and if you are not particularly successful on your home country, you are not going to be successful here in Venezuela. So, for instance, if you are struggling making ends meet in your home country, let's say the US or Western Europe or the UK or maybe other Latin American nation, and you think that you're going to make it here in Venezuela, you are completely mistaken. That is not going to happen. So Venezuela is for people that already have a particular skill set, a particular talent and capital in order to make something happen in Venezuela, depending on their particular expertise. And that mostly now the biggest on this particular kind of thing of the opportunistic side come from Central Europe. Yes, yet again, I have to talk about the Swiss. And on a lesser degree, some Germans. What happened is, for instance, Switzerland. Switzerland has a beautiful country. I've been there, so beautiful, beautiful country. Also, one of the best economies on the world. That's no argument on that regard. But the issue with the Swiss people is that this particular mindset that they are not real entrepreneurs, or they're investors, yeah, I'm going to say, but they are not entrepreneurs, they are not developers, anything like that. Historically, Switzerland has this reputation of being mercenaries, being opportunists. And let's be honest, it is what it is. Now, please, if you're from Switzerland, take it with a grain of salt. And also, I met very cool Swiss people. But most of my unsuccessful prospects that want to become clients here with me is that what I'm seeing, and this is because that's why I address this particular issue a lot, usually come from Switzerland, and that's why I'm addressing this particular situation. So if you are an opportunistic and you have this particular Swiss mindset that I know, first, they are very frugal. I'm very frugal myself, so no issue with that. And you have this mindset is that Venezuela is a banana republic and it's very dirt cheap, so you can do everything you want with just a few euros or Swiss francs, any given currency that you want to use. Well, Venezuela is not going to be for you. That's now, if you have a mindset, you have an open mind, and you want to step aside from the particular, average Swiss mindset, yes, you can actually do some cool things here in the country. But if you come with your particular mindset from Switzerland, that is not gonna work. Also, I have to address Germany because these are the two countries that give me the most hard time. Now Germans, I admire Germany a lot. They have one of the best economies in the world, great quality, a beautiful country, been there, done that. So shout out to Germany, to Deutschland. But the issue with Germans is that they have, it's a cliche, but it is what it is, a very narrow-minded mindset and aura and that kind of thing. So if, by the way, I also cater towards Germans, and I met a bunch of cool German people. Actually, there is kind of thing on TikTok that some young millennials and Gen Zers from Germany, they're actually moving to Caracas and also to Margarita Island. Well, but the funny thing is, though, is that Germans have this particular narrow mindset that if you, and now Germans, the good thing about Germans that some Germans are more self-aware on that particular German mindset, and they are actually willing in order to step aside from the narrow German mindset and make something happen. And I've seen a few cases already. And when they are able to step aside from the narrow mindset, but with the good things about being a German, of course, like any other nationality, Germans have a bunch of good things and a few bad things as well. When they can put the bad things aside and concentrate a couple of good things and be open-minded, that's one of the big things about being German, something special can happen on that particular synergy. But of course, the individual in question, in this particular case, German individuals, have that particular decision, something great is going to happen. But if they don't, Venezuela is not for you. Now, the last thing, which is the candidate, the ideal candidate in Venezuela on this particular time? Is people that are entrepreneurs, but real entrepreneurs, not wannabe entrepreneurs, people who already have a skill set, have value, because that's the most important thing. Of course, combined with the capital that you need in order to do your particular endeavor. Could be a big endeavor or a small endeavor, but you need a particular, of course, the mindset and the skill set is going to be the most important thing. Your hard skills and your soft skills, combined, of course, with the capital that you need. In Venezuela, no one is going to give you free money, free capital, like the mindset of the Silicon Valley. That is not going to work here in Venezuela. Believe me that. And you come here and you're very open-minded and a talented individual, you might accomplish something here that you will never accomplish on your home country.
Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again and have a nice day.